Hey, everybody. Hi, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Jeff International. Well, our mission, for those of you that don't know, is to bring guests from all over the world that have all types of different experiences, skills, and be willing to share their lessons learned and the experiences gained going through the battles of the comeback. You know, we all face them each and every day, right? Oh, man, we got a guest today. You know, I can't wait to really get into what her life is all about and share it with you guys. So make sure you stay tuned, pay attention, and don't miss this opportunity, right? Again, because from that mission, you know, our purpose is for you to take the gifts that they're sharing with you, the empowering solutions, right? And begin to implement them in your day to protect yourself, to battle against those, you know, those daily stressors, you know, the international things that are going on, the disasters here in the United States with the fires in California, and not just the fires, but the aftermath of that, and just all kinds of things going on in different places, and those distractions that kind of get us off our square, and more importantly, the day-to-day things, those daily stressors that always are there, always present, right? Just when you think you got finished with something, you're facing something else, and it fuels, and I believe it fuels that, what we call in our community, that stinking thinking. Right, and it impacts how we see ourselves. So while you spend the time today, our objective and goal is to give you some soulful things that will improve your gratitude, right? Having a gratitude about yourself and ignite that, that fire inside of you, reminding you that you are worthy, that there'll be nothing to stop you from reaching your destiny. But not only life's stressors, but the stinking thinking that we all face each and every day. Oh, man. And lastly, I just want to remind you, I always like to do that you are worthy, folks. No matter what you're in right now, what you got finished with, or what you're getting ready to start, I call that the comebacks of life. You are worthy. And it's not something that's meant to harm you, but to strengthen you. Not something that's meant to keep you stuck where you are, but move you, elevate you through experiences, learning to get through the battles and the struggles, right? And you'll hear some of that from our next guest. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jeff Tyson, and I'm the host of Conversations with Jeff International, and also founder of Comeback King Enterprises. So our ask today is, while you're here, make sure you let us know where you come from. Make sure you let us know how we can help you in this. And please comment in the chat. If you're hearing the recording, still drop some love in that and share this information with your friends, right? So, hey, let me just kind of get to why you're here and why you're listening to this show today. And I'm going to share a little bit of the bio of our next guest. She's someone I've just met recently and done some research on, and she just does all kinds. Her and her partner do all kinds of crazy things, but we have her today. But she comes to us with 25 years of coaching and consulting business, and I love how she says she wants us to help to live life on your terms. Wow. Right? How many of us want to do that? Yeah. Living life on your terms. She empowers parents to craft businesses, and listen to this, empowers parents to craft businesses around their passion and their lifestyle. So many times we hear people say, I wish I could do that, but I can't make a living. So you hear things people they talk themselves out of what's possible. Right, so you want to hear what she's got to say around that, because she's got some cool things she's doing. And her motto, the main thing that she says, and I love this, is that we are happy and obstacles are possibilities with thorns. Let that sink in. Just think of a rose bush, big, beautiful rose bush, and you grab it, and you don't even know what the stem is, and you grab it, and all of a sudden you're bleeding, and your hand starts to scream. Those are what she's talking about. But we heal from that. Anyway, that's just my version of it. She has a unique approach to turning life challenges into opportunities. She runs a catch and relax business, and she'll talk about that. And she's coming to us live today, all the way from Stockholm. And man, let's bring it to the stage, my friend and our next guest at Conversations with Jeff International, Helen Lundren. All right. Let me get you up here. Hey, Helen, how are you?
I'm just doing fine. It's starting to evening here in Stockholm. It's pitch black outside, and I'm here in my office, studio, call it what you want, in my home. And I am so thrilled to be online with you today. I've been looking forward for this for quite some time since we met. It's not
Yes.
that long ago, but it was in the community of coaches
Yeah.
and entrepreneurs and people who wants to change lives
Yeah.
and follow a purpose, which I believe so much in.
Well, Helen, and just hearing you share that and talking with Dean and him talking to you and just, I said, man, I got to reach out to her. I don't care what it takes, because you're doing some really cool things. And I know we don't have the opportunity to keep you all day. So I really kind of like make sure that, a couple of things that we do and you get a chance to talk about the what is it? They run the Catch and Relax business, and you do consulting, but Helen, I always ask the question, why don't you maybe talk a little bit about how the journey began for you and then some recent roadblocks and then we kind of just pick it up from there.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that life shapes you, and you have so many possibilities in life to also be shaped by these things, that those hurdles, those thresholds that you have to go through, but you can also sometimes walk them around a little bit. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, since I'm Swedish, I have this funny accent. I'm saying the things sometimes a little bit funny. Uh, Please ask me if you don't get what I mean. But I think that the thresholds that we are actually have to go through life, because, well, if it would be a straight line, no problems, no height, no nothing, then we would be dead. And what you said so beautiful when you introduced me was, life is, there are possibilities with thorns. And I think it is so important in life when things is happening for you, not to you, but for
Yeah,
you. I
that's right.
think it's important to grab those possibilities, if you can see them as possibility, because just recently a very good friend of mine, she lost her house in the fires in Los Angeles.
Mm,
And these are things are hard sometimes that happens in life, but you
mm,
always have a possibility to look
yeah.
at the things that happens to you in life out from a different perspective.
Yes.
And if I look at you from this side instead of from this side, you look differently. And this is what
Yes.
you have to do in life. You have to be to go into yourself and use the ability that you have as a human being to use your beginner's mindset.
Mm. Beginner's mindset. I like that.
And that is also beginner's mindset is a growth mindset.
Yes.
Instead of looking at this is impossible to do, you have to take the situation, because situation comes and you have to look at them out from a different angle. And then it can be easier or more difficult, depending
Mm,
on from which angle you're looking at things. So this
yeah.
is, I was just like in when I said this to myself the first time, isn't the main thing that will happen? I was in my teens. I was in a deep discussion in my classroom. I usually spoke up a lot, but at this time I was very silent, and I was just listening to the discussion in the classroom. The theme was about computers, and you have to think back many years. I'm 58, so this was in the 80s.
Okay.
To be
Okay.
very, very this precise, 86. And I thought this discussion was very um, dumb, idiotic. And then suddenly I just rose my hand And I said, well, guys and girls and everyone who has an opinion, isn't the main thing that we are happy? And everyone looked at me and was just like, well, where did she get air? And since then, I think this has been my mantra.
Yeah. I
This has
love
been my mantra because you cannot feel sad and happy at the same time.
it. Yeah, no, it's not possible. No. Yeah.
It's impossible to have two feelings at the same time.
Yeah.
The human being doesn't. It's impossible.
So
So,
true.
and if
So true.
you go into things with more energy, because the energy in our bodies affects how we see things, everything will be so much easier, even if it is something that is happening for us that is
Yeah.
difficult to go through.
Yeah, yeah. I wish I would have been in the classroom when you said that because, you know, good for you to be able to speak your truth, right? And it's so important. And like you're talking about, life happens for us and not to us. And so you've probably, not probably, obviously you've continued that perspective in your life. And,
Yes,
and,
absolutely.
and so how was it when you kind of got into the decision? Because you guys have in the consulting and coaching business for over 25 years. Um, that's something you always wanted to do, or were you working and you had enough working and you're like, forget it, I'm going to start my own? How did you continue to grow in that space?
I think I have always been a very open-minded person. I just recently got to know what a polymath is, and it's actually Robert Edward Grant who came up with this term, and Leonardo da Vinci, he said, to develop a complete mind, study the science of art, study the art of science, learn how to see, realize that everything connects to everything else. So, what is a polymath? Polymath is, according to Google, a person who have not stuck into a single field of knowledge, but have devoted themselves to exploring different possibilities, taking advantage of technology and the increasingly blurred boundaries of science disciplines. It is a person with a broad knowledge base. And many times people have not gotten me because I have been so spread. I
Yes.
have an MBA in service management, economics, and administration. I've always loved experiences, traveling, nature. So during my studies, I was working as a travel guide. That was a dream of mine when I was young, to become a travel guide. I wanted to help people on their travels, and I also wanted to travel a lot. And when I was in that work, I just felt like, oh, this was the most beautiful work I could have. I was there helping people during their most important weeks of the year, their vacation. They maybe had worked for a whole year
Yeah.
to be able to travel a week with their family.
Yeah.
And it was my responsibility that that week was going to be as best as it could. And if something happened, I had the responsibility and also the freedom to try to come up with solutions when something happened, because it always happens things.
Yeah. Always. Yes.
And
Yes.
once we came, because I was a bus guide, you call it. So we traveled down in Europe with the people, with the group. And one week we got a newsletter, and that was a letter to the organization that thanked that they have had me as their guide,
Wow. Wow.
and that I had made their vacation so beautiful. I don't remember exactly. I still have the letter.
Yeah.
And and this is hospitality for me.
Yeah.
So when we moved out to an island in Stockholm Archipelago.
Yeah. Yes.
And if you have not been to Sweden and visited Stockholm Archipelago, you have to go. It is one of the top destinations 2025 from National Geographics.
I peeped it after meeting you. It was like, wow.
Yes, so
Wow.
one of the top 25 destinations in the world in 2025 from National Geographics. So
Yes.
we moved out to an island 25 years ago, me and my husband's to be. Now he is my husband. And people were just like, are you serious? You moving out to an island? You're gonna commute by boat every day? Yes. And also the thing was that he had two kids from a former marriage, and he even had to sign papers for his wife, so that was not going to be a disadvantage for the kids to actually be living with us on an island and so on. It's later on it showed it was an advantage because they had priority in all the schools and so on, because when you live on an island it's a special situation. But anyway, so and then some years down the line, we got Fredrika, our oldest daughter. I was business area manager for the Nordic region for Philips Computer Peripherals, and they wanted me to take on the responsible for sales as well. But I said no, not with a 1.5-year-old kid.
Yes.
No, I have to travel a lot then, and I'm not doing that. It was enough. And I didn't know what we were going to do exactly. So we started Business Improvement Consultant, our consultancy firm, helping other companies with marketing and sales and things like this. And it also showed that I was really good at booking meetings with companies and HR directors and marketing directors and so on. So we did that for quite a bit. And then some years down the line, I was actually going back to the corporate world and working for one of the largest food manufacturer here in Sweden. And I got fired because they sold a part of the company and I was the last one in. So I was the first out.
First one out. Yeah.
It's because some people didn't want to follow to the purchasing company.
Right. Got you.
And then we said, well, we wanted to, because the archipelago life, the way of living, our lifestyle here, it started to take over. And then we saw also some other people, doing some stuff, having people at home and coming for a sauna, paying a little bit and so on. And then we thought, we maybe can do that. I had my husband is into fishing. He loves boats. He knows everything. And then I love to take care of people. I love taking care of people. As I did when I was a travel guide. And I had all my experience. I had been working for incoming company in Austria for some years. I had been hotel manager and all these parts. And I said, why don't we start an activity company showing people what we have in front of our feet every day and go fishing, go boating, and take them home to our home.
Boy, I'm just listening to you, and I just want to interrupt you because I want to hear about that next step. But there were a couple of things, Helen, and you had a decision to make, and you didn't have all the answers, and you made the decision back when you had this. They want you to travel. You're like, oh no, I don't think so. You're nuts, but you still have financial responsibility, so you made that kind of decision. And so people out there that are wondering, just if it's possible, she just told us, right? As a reminder.
Yes. Was I nuts? Yes. Was it worth it? Yes.
Yes.
I know what it takes, but I also know what it gives.
Oh, I love
I know
that.
what it takes and I know what it gives. And this is what I want to share in my coaching program, Life on Your Terms.
I
I
love it.
want to show
Mm,
that it is possible to
mm,
build a business around a hobby, interest, or lifestyle. And if you are someone listening to this,
mm.
knowing someone who wants to start a nature tourism company or a hospitality business or any brick and mortar business,
Yeah.
I think I can contribute because in my program, I really want to learn because I have been there myself,
Hmm.
not really knowing how to start a company, all what it takes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Two
and
things.
it's a lot because you have to build nowadays you have to build a good foundation of a business
Yeah. That's right. That's right.
to get it to grow because I think it is only 5% of all companies started worldwide who survive the first 1 to 5
Yeah.
years.
5 years is the real number. There's a certain percentage that fall off the first year, and with everything else going on like that, people just and here's and we'll get to you, but people start a business that because they're good at something, but they don't have the business perspective, right? They
No.
don't have the guide. We all need a guide, right? And so
Yes,
you're that guide, and what I love about this is that you talk about parents helping them do things that
absolutely.
passion and inspire, right?
Yeah.
But then you bring the business skills to help guide them. So that, man,
Yeah, because the thing is, you can start a business. Anyone can have a skill, but if you don't see, or if you don't see, I have a new camera and it plays with me sometimes.
that's good. Nice that it moved up good.
You're doing it remotely. No, but when you don't know how to market and sell what you have, it is difficult to get the business off ground. You have to build a good foundation. You have to know who is your customer, what
Mm,
is your value proposition, but then you need to also know who are you going to collaborate with, who is your vendors, and
yeah,
then you don't necessarily have to have everything set up when you start, but somehow you have to be able to go out in the market and have something to deliver, even though if you co-create with your customers, that we often do in the coaching world, but
hmm,
it is important to be able to see how can I market and how
yeah,
can I sell. And
yeah,
in my perspective, marketing is not only social media.
right,
It's not social media. It's so many other ways as well. Just like networking, how you meet people, how
yeah,
you can also transfer. Like I just launched my mastermind. It's going to start in beginning of March, and there we're going to use what BNI is doing,
mm,
networking. Okay, I learned to know your business. Okay, I have someone here.
yes,
Yeah, okay, you need someone like this. So
hmm,
I recommend this person instead of just only working with my business. But this is also so beautiful
yes,
when we help each other.
yeah, yes, yes. Well, they say collaboration is one of the new currencies, right? And
Absolutely.
and,
So it
and with
even says in this wedding ring, togetherness is everything.
I love that. Well, they say what is it? They say you can go faster alone, but further together.
Yes.
And but I think I know for me I had to grow up to that because when I started out I wanted my own business. I had enough of corporate America. I'm gonna do it all on my own, and I
Mhm.
had some success. But I had partners around me, the right vendors, the right guidance, financial, all that stuff you're talking about,
Mhm.
and then things crash and we reset. But today, I mean, we can reach across the world, right?
It is so beautiful. And also the thing is that when we are, this was so beautiful. I just heard it from a very well-known person. I'm not going to mention his name, but small businesses are big business.
That's right.
Small businesses are big businesses. And I just read in a newsletter the other day, actually the backbone of each economy in the world
Yes.
is small businesses. Because like in Sweden, we have a little bit more than 10 million people. We have 1 million companies. It's 1 million companies where
Wow.
1 to 9 people employed in the companies. And this means when the governments are talking about business, they often only talk about big businesses and
That's right.
what businesses have to do and so. But think about, be proud as a small business. You are the backbone of the companies. And my leading star is that I know we talked about that, Jeff, you and I, when we were on our first call, that my dream is that we will have more nature tourism companies
Yeah.
out in the world, in the countryside, because this is a way of having a living countryside.
Yeah. Yeah.
For example, when I was in Scottsdale last year in March, visiting Dean, and we had a meeting in the Edge. We went to Grand Canyon and this part,
Wow.
and then we did a tour, and it was out in the middle of nowhere, really. Like we passed it first. How would we have found a company out in the countryside in the middle of nowhere if we would not have had internet and ways of marketing us?
Yeah.
And this was a small, tiny company. They had like 20 people going on the tour in March when it is low season. What would they have lived from if they would not have had the nature
Yeah.
and having visitors coming?
Yeah.
And through all the possibilities that we are having now with internet and all platforms where we can market ourselves, this gives us such a possibility to build up something in the countryside. And this is what I mean to, if you are passionate about a hobby, it's possible to build a business around it. We just signed the first fishing guide in Michigan. He's going to create a fishing guide company in Michigan together with his grandson.
Wow.
This is such a beautiful thing. We have done it here. We are with Catch&Relax, we are one of Sweden's leading fishing guides company and one of the leading activity companies in Stockholm. We have even been representing Sweden on 2 very large fairs, and we didn't apply for it. We were asked to come and do it.
Wow. And that's something your husband is not only good at, but he loves doing, if I remember right.
And
Right?
he's also helping in the coaching program, Life on Your Terms. Yes.
Man. Yeah. 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 So describe a day with, the whole business around that, your catch and relax. Describe what that is for us, please.
Yes. So we have a season where we go fishing, boating, and bringing some guests to our home. But it is as a menu. This is how I always describe it for my customers, that everything that we make is tailor-made. But we have a menu of different things depending of if you are private or if you're a corporate client. So we actually, with the fishing part, we only have two products or two services. It is half day or full day. We go fishing in the boat in Stockholm Archipelago. It depends a little bit on the method, what kind of people, if it's spin fishing or fly fishing. And then we also have different species that we go after. And depending on interest and what time of the year, we fish different kinds of fishes here in Stockholm Archipelago, of course. But then, depending on who this client is, we have named the half tour, for example, different things like family fishing, after work fishing, or friend fishing. And thanks to the name, the people will book. So if someone have booked a family fishing, we know that most likely there will be kids.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
always talk to the individuals in the group because it's small groups. We have like max 5 persons in a boat.
Yeah.
But we can do events with 300 people
Mm.
for corporate clients, for example.
Nice.
Is where our collaborations with other activity company comes in,
Mm-hmm.
because when I have a group with 100 people that are going to go fishing, I call all my colleagues,
Yeah.
and then
Wow.
through the collaborations we become
Yes.
bigger. We can take bigger groups.
I
So a
love that.
normal day is we get up in the early in the morning, we prepare the fika basket. You know, in Sweden we drink a lot of coffee and we eat buns. You have to have that. That is a whole, you have to look it up. Fika is very important in Sweden.
Okay.
And then sometimes we prepare lunch, or we have catered a lunch
Mm-hmm.
if they are going for a full day. Sometimes they end up here with a sauna, and sometimes they even have evening with dinner here in our home. We have
Wow.
built a beautiful glass house. That
Ah.
was the picture that you saw
Yeah.
when you met me the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fabulous. Yes.
It
Yes.
is. It's absolutely gorgeous. We built it
Yes.
years ago. But
Agreed.
it can also be that a corporate client comes and have a day conference in our
Mm-hmm.
home. Of course, we live in a beautiful place.
Yeah.
We were able to buy it 25 years ago for less than we bought from what we had on the mainland. That was one
Mm-hmm.
of the reasons why we moved here.
Yeah.
And that was also,
Mm.
grabbing the what fell in front of our feet, and we
Yeah.
just like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Wow.
that is a typical day. But then what people, or in any business, what you want to deliver to your customer is often the iceberg.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
what you deliver is here. It's with coaching businesses, with any business. What you
Yeah.
deliver is up here. But then you have a huge amount
Mm.
of work under the tip.
Yes.
But the
Yeah.
more work you do here, the more comes up above the surface.
I love that.
So it's what you do in, what is it, are they saying? What you do in the darkness, that
That's
will
right.
show. Yeah.
We'll
You
show in the
know
light.
that.
I
Yeah.
do. I do. And the broader that gets, the stronger that base gets, the higher your point of
Yeah.
contact. Right. I love that whole definition.
Yeah. So,
And
for example, now during this time of season, it's a lot of meetings with hotels and booking companies and also agents worldwide. We take care of a lot of American guests, and that is actually through many years of collaborations with different agents out in the
yeah,
world.
I like that.
And so, for example, next week we're actually going to go to Italy to one of the largest fishing fairs,
Mm.
um, to look at places, but also to meet people, and also some recreational time for us.
Right, right. You got to get a little bit of fun in there, but doing the networking like you're talking about and always collaborating and always, I love when you talked about bringing your other people together so you can host bigger events and not seeing them as competition, but as allies. And it's so,
Yes,
so
yes,
important. Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah, yeah,
absolutely. Like just before COVID, we had a group that was booked from a French agent, and it was a large international company. They came to Stockholm for a conference, 4 days with 3 nights at the Sheraton, thanks to the activity day that I created. So this was fishing. The group was 105 people. They went fishing, they went ice sculpting, and
mm,
also hiking. So it was not a rotation, but everyone had to choose one activity. Then we went with the boat, and we had the beautiful lunch in a fortress out in
mm,
the Stockholm Archipelago on an island, and then we
yeah,
went by boat back. Thanks to that activity day, they booked a 4 day conference to Stockholm. So that was a travel reason why they came here.
yeah. Wow, wow.
So that is destination development. And that
Yes,
is also something that for our destination here in Vaxholm, where we live, I have been one of the initiative, one of the persons who was initiative to group collaboration where we
yeah.
started a destination organization to develop our destination here in Stockholm Archipelago. And many people's work during 15 years, and our company has been one of the companies that have worked with this very, very much. It is thanks to that work during a long period that National Geographic has
Yeah.
voted Stockholm Archipelago as one of the top destinations worldwide this year.
Man, I'm just sitting here and knowing from where you began in the classroom to what people thought was the smart mouth, somebody not paying attention to making decisions in corporate life and family life. And
Mm.
you talk about, Helen, you talk about doing what you love and passion, and then you have the business perspective. I mean,
Yeah.
we're already out of time, and this is, you
But
know,
I must say one thing. I must say one thing.
yes, I want you to please.
6 years ago, I was quite not burned out, but I had problems in my family
Mm,
when my mother passed away with my siblings. And what helped me was when I was starting with personal development and
mm,
mindfulness. That is the reason why I'm in this room today, because
wow.
I started to take it on, and thanks to that development that I have worked very much with the last uh, years.
Hmm.
And it's actually one of the reasons is Tony Robbins. And I was, 4 years ago, I was in Time to Rise, which is starting today.
Yeah.
And thanks to this, this work with personal development and also mindfulness,
Mm,
that I have been able to go through hard times, personal hard times, but also having the power to continue with two companies and building up my additionally building up my coaching business. And I want everyone who starts a business to think about to implement this part in their entrepreneurship, because it is such a hard market out there today. So without the doing you, it is difficult to have the power as an entrepreneur. It's not that easy. You have to be strong in you, and this is why I'm including that part so much in my program, and that is why I'm calling it Life on Your Terms, because life on your terms is really having harmony in your entrepreneurship, it's not always about balance, because I work a lot. I love it. So what I say is that when you have harmony, you find balance automatically between
Mm.
the different parts, even though you're working much, because you do as an entrepreneur. And
Yeah.
it's no use lying about that, but you have the freedom to live
Yeah.
life on your terms. So
I was taking notes while I was going. Like we just do it, and I love what you talked about. Mindfulness, doing you is key,
yeah,
Helen, and the self development piece. And I've, as an athlete, we did a physical development, but not till later on did I understand the power of self development and what I say to myself and how I manage to thinking and how we overcome the negative things about ourselves and the worthiness and all the history and the drama. But you also said this life on your terms, harmony. And you're out of balance. It's not just balance.
no,
Sometimes your harmony sings loudest when you're moving a lot of different ways, and and you're in the boat, right? And you just the fish just got off the hook, all that stuff. So Helen, I'm glad you had the opportunity to share that part,
mm.
and I do want to ask you. We've had a great time here today. Is there one thing that you can summarize for us that we can kind of wrap this thing up, summarizing that and then telling us how we can get a hold of you?
How you can get a hold of me is in social media. You look up my name, Helen Wejkner Lundgren. Wejkner is my maiden name, but life on your terms, or you can also look at catch-relax.se. First we fish, and then we do relax. I played with the term catch and release. And I have commented on. I will comment on this live stream, and then you find my profile. So with that said, and I think one of my leading stars is, as we talked about, I think that more kids in the world, they need their parents at home and there, because my two daughters, they have always had both of us, except when Bo has been out on the waters, but we have been here all the
Yeah.
time. And that possibility is worth everything.
Mm. Mm.
And I see that in them now.
Yeah.
Because it has to start with your identity. Who are you? What is important for you? And not just being wrapped up in the doing, but you have to be before you can have. It's like be, do, have. You have to
Yeah.
become the person who's doing the shit that you're supposed to do in order to be able to have. You cannot just sit and dream, oh, I want that and want that.
Yeah.
Then you're just going to be unlucky. You have to
Yeah.
become the one who does the shit in order to have.
Yeah.
And life is not only about money.
Mm. Well, you proved that you had a decision. I mean, you've lived it. You had a decision to take a job which required travel and away from the family.
Mm.
And just the roles were reversed, and you did that. That's time away that you can't get back. We cannot get time back.
No.
No one's figured out how to do that yet, right?
Mm.
So I love how you summarized that and your leading star, with the kids, right? And now
Yeah.
more than ever. I hang out. I know I said we're going to go, but I just want to share. I get a chance to take my granddaughter to school in the morning, and
Yeah.
she's 13. She's going to high school now, 14, and I've been able to take her to different times of the year. It's crazy.
Mm.
The volume of information, the volume of attitude, the volume of just possibilities that technology brings to them. We
Yeah.
got to ground our kids. Where's the grounding?
Yeah. And I can see that sometimes in my daughter. She's in the last year of high school. She is
Mm-hmm.
down in Stockholm. She has some personal challenges, yes, and sometimes she can't get out of the bed in the morning, and then we say, okay. My husband goes, I can drive you to school.
Yeah.
It's nearly 2 hours back and forth, because she goes downtown Stockholm, and we are uh, uh, about 22 miles north of Stockholm, and on an island, so we have to go by boat. It's only 900 yards, but still, you have to get in the
Still
boat.
got to get on the boat, yeah.
We have the possibility to do that, to be there for her and support her sometimes when she doesn't get everything together.
Right. So,
and you cannot do that when you're not away and you have someone who is standing there. Where were you yesterday?
Yeah. You're building their future. You're doing things for them and giving up all of those things. So before you go, in the chat, I have Catch&Relax. What was the other? What was it? Say it again, please, so we can at least get that in the chat for people to reach out to you. Catch&Relax.
So you can email Helen, HELEN, at lifeonyourterms.se. If you want to email me.
So it's Helen at Life on Your Terms. What's the last part?
SE, Sweden, SE.
Okay.
So Susan Eric.
Okay. .com or?
No. Lifeonyourterms.se.
Okay. .se. Okay.
Yeah. SE is instead of com.
Gotcha.
Or Helen at helenlundgren.com. That's maybe easier.
Okay, sorry to keep you here. I just wanted to at least get that out.
No problem.
Helen, what was the other one? Helen at what?
Helen at helenlundgren.com.
That's LUDREN.
Lundgren, LUNDGREN.com.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm flying solo today, so I'm packing it in there. Hopefully I got it right. But listen, it's been a fabulous time, my friend. And I've already told my wife about the island, and she's a planner. So you guys have been elevated to our travel arrangements, and so I really want to say thank you. Thank you.
And I have the connections. We can fix you a house here. There are hotels, and you come. We don't have accommodations, but other stuff we have. And I'm just saying thank you. It has been an honor. I value this a lot, and I'll share this with my peeps.
All right. Well, I'll do the same, Helen. So thank you again. A pleasure. And we'll talk again soon.
Yes, and I always end my meetings like this. Over and out from Stockholm Archipelago with love.
I got you. Over and out, my friend. I see you. Close to you too.
Bye.
See you later. Thank you.
Bye.
Oh man, hey, listen, this has just been a blast. I love this ability to have people in here, real people sharing their experiences and their strength and the things that they do. So I encourage you to go back. Sylvia, thanks for stopping in and go back and listen to this again and share this information. And make sure you reach out to Helen. And Sweden's it's on our destination part of travel. So, so many great things today. I want to say, Helen, thank you again for your time. And remember, do you, right? And it's about the harmony and not so much about the balance. Stay out of balance in harmony, baby. That's what I talked about, what I believe to be true. So as we say goodbye to you, remember that the stinking thinking no longer has to be the thing that keeps you stuck, and that you are worthy of success. Nothing shall stop you from reaching your destiny. And identify what success really means to you and understand that it's possible. Like she said, the possibilities are limitless. Get out of your own way. Step into your greatness, one step at a time. All right, hey, gotta go. Share this information. Drop it in. My contact information is also in there. Let's have a conversation. And let's keep it moving, baby. Thanks for another session. Have conversations with Jeff. Talk to you soon.